Oh, well, I managed to get a bit more done. I've got the lights on. There's one in the bank there. There's one on the street. I've got the Belisha beacons up. I'll show you these in a bit, but I'll fit them. I've got the cottages done. Well, we had those done before. I put an LED inside one. It's the one with the white light. I think it's probably a bit too bright, but I can change that later. I come on down to the canal. I'll just get this back on. As you can see, I've got the canal finished now. The other easy water came. Unfortunately, like I said, you have to layer it, and of course I put the new in, which was halfway up to about there with what I put in previously, and of course there is a ridge there, but put the barges over the top and hopefully you don't see it. I'd recommend with that stuff, it's good, but I shouldn't. If you're doing a big area like that, you need to make sure you've got enough to start with, or better still, just do it in a small area. I think a big area like that, after thought, I would have been better just painting and doing about 4 or 5 coats of gloss. But anyway, it's down now, so it's not looking too bad. I just want to show you next how I do this static grass. And then I'll show you how something I've been asked how to do my electrics and that, but I'll just do a little bit of a demonstration. As you know, there's quite a few of these different applicators for static grass. There's a famous Notch one, about £140. Well, these you can get them on eBay. You can just Google static grass applicators, all sorts comes up. These are about £15 and they work nearly just about as good. I've just put a little bit of a mixture in there, and I don't know whether you can see, I've put a nail in there. I'll just put my mixture on, PVA mixture, which is, on this I do about 70% PVA, 30% water. Just find where my brush is. Right, well, the area I'm going to do is this bit down here. I'll just put the PVA mixture down. I better use my finger on it quicker. You just do a small area at a time. Right, got that down. What we do then, you pin the applicator to the nail. That's for the static electricity. And then we switch on and just shake like you would with some of the normal laying grass. I think you can see there the grass is rising there. It gives you. I might have to put the camera a bit lower down for you to see. As you can see, as it gets lower, it should lift those strands up. Put a bit of a mixture in there, and when that's dry, it should dry with the tufts stood up, and I think this is, it's about 4 to 6mm strands. It just adds a bit of more realism to it. You can get your different shades. I thought I got a darker green, but most of them now. As you can see with that now, it don't look too bad, does it? I say when that's dried, you'll see the difference. And I say these you can buy, I say £15–20. Different ones sell them. And then when you've done, just touch the nail. It gets rid of the static electric in there. Because believe you me, although it's only a battery in here, if that's still loaded and you touch it, you can get quite a shock. I've done it a few times. Right, I don't know whether you can see that. I'll just try low. I think you can see there now how you get that effect. It's quite good, as I say. And when that's dried out, I'll take that nail out. So, and just put a drop of grass over that nail. Just sprinkle a bit on. Right, another thing I've got to show you. I've been using quite a bit of this. This is very good for covering up the spots that you don't that you want covering up, i.e. where joints are, and that's the coarse turf. I mean, you know, again, just put your PVA down, a little sprinkling of that, dab it down so as it's into the PVA, and when that's dried up, then you've got a bit of bush-like effect. As you can see, I've done quite a lot all the way around. Right, so that's covered that. Track laying, well, I've sent for some more of that track lay, so when that comes I'll show you how I've done my ballasting with that, with the copy decks. I'll just show you now. They keep asking me how I do my wiring. Well, it's straightforward, but I'll just see if I can do an easy demonstration for you. These are some of the LEDs I use. They come in a packet like that. There's 3 there on a strip. Of course, you've got to extend the leads, but I mean, if 3 there, £2. I've 1 there. I've put the extended leads on. I'll just wire it up onto 12-volt transformer here. As you can see there, you've got a nice bright light. Now you can do it with grain of wheat bulbs. I use both LEDs, grain of wheat, and also the same with the zebra crossing lights. I've put there's a resistor already. They come with a resistor on. You can see the resistor there. But all you have to do, again, they're all 12 volt of these. That's the beauty. Instead of this messing about 6 volt, 9 volt, 14 volt. Because don't forget, if you wire from your auxiliary on your transformer, you're talking 14.5, 15.5 volts, and it's too much, you'll burn all the lights out. But these on 12 volt, again, there you go. You've got your flashing police beacons all built in. It's same people as what do the LEDs. They do all sorts, but they're marvellous, those. They're just a little bit on the long side, I think, but I'll show you what I did. Oh, before I do that, I'll just show you the transformer. What do you see? What transformers do you use? Well, these, I've shown them before, but they're ideal. You've got varied voltages on. Starts at 3 volt, 5, 6, 7.5, 9 and 12 volt. So you can set the pin to whatever voltage you want. You get there's loads of transformers now. A lot of these telephone ones you can use, you know, even on telephones. But that's all I do, literally. That's plugged into a socket down below. I'll drill my holes in my board, put my lights through, to run the wires through, and connect up with like one of these connectors. And I mean, I'll put my main feed in one end, and then I can have 6, 8 going in at the other side, you know. So I'm running. I can run 10, 12 lights off of one of these transformers, and if you don't know LEDs, you can run a lot more. I've said that before. I'll just show you though what I did from before. These are those grain of wheat bulbs. They're very good. As I say, this is an orange one, and I used a red one in that bottom cottage there. I've not extended the wires on that yet, but I shall use it later. But I think they probably are very good. But we'll see when I get these red. I've ordered some orange one as well, orange and red LEDs. So I'll see what they're like. As I said, a little bit up long side. So what I do, I'll drill my hose through, put them in, drop the wires in down below, and then I just put some blue tack in just to fill in, push, you know, drill the big hole, put the lights further down, fill in, and then just paint over. I don't like doing this lifting up, but I've glued down, but just, oh dear, I'm bringing it up. I can reset that anyway. That shows how good that sits. But if you look, that's how I've done the LED there. There's that strip of 3, I've just a bit of tape holding there. If it was too bright, I tried putting a bit of red tape on just to give it a bit of a red glow, but I've actually sent now, I've found some red LED, so I've sent for some of those. But that's all it is. I showed you before with that one. That's got a grain of wheat bulb just through the hole. Again, use some blue tack to hold it there. Let's put that down again. But yeah, it makes it good. Well, it brings your layout to life, doesn't it, when you've got lights on. So I think that's straightforward. So if you want to ask any questions, just ask me. But as I say, that's all you do. Put your extended leads on, solder them on. In fact, that one had broken off, so I've just soldered direct onto the strip there. But you need to put extended leads on, obviously. And just use these underneath. I'm not going to show you underneath because it's a bit of a mess underneath here just now. I'll have to clear that up. But I say I think Maplins were selling them at one time, but you'll get them. There's bound to be. I've bought them from all different places. I got these from a local shop actually, Yorkshire Trading I think it was. But they're very good. You can set it to one. I've put that down in some PVA, haven't I? But they're very handy because I don't know if you can see down at the far end, I've got some signal lights, they're 6 volts. So of course I can use one of these, put them all onto, I think I've got 6 running on down there, and just run it onto a 6 volt one. So you can set them at what you want. But if you're buying out now for lighting, I mean there's a lot of these that's selling them now, is it Fleischmann, quite a few anyway, 14.5 volts, so they can go on your auxiliary, on your transformers, controllers. Well, it's alright, but you're going to run so many and you're going to take in juice from your track, aren't you? So I think you're better off running a separate 12 volt transformer and sticking to 12 volt lights. There's plenty about now, there didn't used to be, but there's loads of stuff about now. Whilst we're on with about electrics, a few asked me about Buzzline as well. Well, if you're a beginner, complete beginner, you think, what on earth are on about a Buzzline? I did first. I mean, I only started 5 years ago and I hadn't a clue what they were talking about. I thought they were on about buses or something, not layout. Anyway, what it is you're running your 2 cables underneath your layout, under the table there, to feed onto your track. So as you get more of a constituency feed. I've done it on top of the table because it's so difficult I can't show underneath. But all you do is, preferably I'd run one red, one black, and then red your live one of course, wire out to your live from your transformer, and then what you do is literally you solder onto your track like there, obviously drill holes through, these are underneath the table of course, and then you can use either joiners. Some here I got from Maplins. You can clip into these. I don't know if you can see them. Or I just get a blade and cut the outer wire off and wrap my wire on. You can use connectors. You can do out really. If you're brave enough, you can solder underneath. But that's all it is. And they say once every length of track, but to be honest, if your fish plates are tied up tight, you're connecting fish plates, you shouldn't need that. An old guy told me, he says, if you've got just a medium-sized layout, say 6 foot, 8 foot, you don't even need to rear Buzzline. Others will argue with that, but if it's all up tight, they should work alright. But what I would say is, every 6 to 12 feet, put a couple of droppers on either side, say down, drill through, and tie onto your Buzzline, and that should prevent a lot of these stop-go things that we get with them. To explain it better or easier, if you just Google Buzzline for model railway, you'll find plenty of information in there. In fact, if you Google most things and put in exactly what you want for a model railway, you can find a lot of answers. But I just thought this helps. Whilst I mention it as well, I forgot to say, when you're putting these extended leads on your lights, etc., make sure you put some insulation tape around the joint there, because if them too touch, obviously, open wires, you get a short on. But I just lost that red bit of wire. But you can see what I'm saying now, can't you? Your red one goes on as your live goes on the outside, and blue for you on your inside. And I say, if you do this every 12 foot going round, or if it's a smaller layout, every 6 foot, they told me the best. I just solder normally onto the track there on that outer side. But they say that it's a lot easier to solder onto the fish plates, rail joiners. I'll try that this time. As you see, I've put this track on. I haven't done any yet. I'm going to have to do that. I've already got a buzz line running underneath, but I'm going to have to put my droppers they call them, these, you see. Let's just solder onto there, red on that side, hole through there, drop it through, and connect onto my buzz line. Again, hope that's of some use to some who weren't sure what we were talking about. Something else I wanted to show you as well. When you're laying your track and you're doing 2 tracks and you want them running parallel, you want them to more or less run correctly in line. Well, there's these. I bought these a while since. I bought them on eBay actually, but I think it's A1 models. There'll be a few people selling. They're called track spacers, and they just fit into grooves of your track. So as you're laying your track, you can make sure they're running parallel all the way along. The handle's disappeared off of that one. But you see what I mean? If you're doing a stretch at a time, you just run them on, and then you've got a perfect space between the 2 tracks. It's well, it's a must really, especially when you come up to doing points and that. So they are measured exactly, so that when you put 2 sets of points facing one another, they'll meet up exactly. Nice little tool them. I don't think they cost that much. Is it Aaron over in Turkey that sells a lot of stuff? I think calls himself A1 models. I could be wrong, but if you Google model railway track spacers, somewhere they'll come up. They're very handy to have. In the past I've just laid it down and guessed it, and sometimes then when I come to where to put my points on, I've been completely out. Same with the level crossing, a double level crossing, obviously the space that's spot on, you know. Right, I think that's covered most things. I can get a bit more work done now. I've a lot to do yet, I keep saying that. But we will get there. I'll just put some paint down there. You can see I've got stuff everywhere again. But I hope this other track layer comes. I bought all those rolls of cork. I'm going to put cork on here and lay the track on cork. But those rolls of track layer are very good actually, I'll say that. And when you've laid your track on it, I'll show it again when I'm waiting for some coming again. I only bought a small amount because I thought, well, I'll just see whether I like it or not. And then we're doing copy decks on either side. Then you just sprinkle your ballast on, and it sticks. You don't have to put anything on there in the centre. That sticks down completely. And well, it does either side as well. I haven't had to put any PVA on. And then you just go down with vac, put your vac on, and just pick up the loose. I mean that's, as you can see, it's very good, because as I say, that copy decks is strong stuff, but it's easier way. I'll show it again, as I say, when it comes. Well, it's still not fully dry yet, but you can see now it is standing up there. It's not bad at all. That other thing I want to mention, of course, you know, you'll see I've had a lot of trees. Well, I had a lot of trees from before, but I were online the other day, and I just thought this was a good bargain. Shouldn't advertise, but there's a pack there of 25 trees, £18. So I can add quite a few more trees when I get round to it. And I think that trees, again, they help to bring your layout to life, you know. Even more to life when I get trains running.